You could become an orthopedic surgeon and still do that. But there will be a lot of people that says, oh, just put the family thing on hold and put that on hold. I just want to caution you, a reality is that there are a lot of successful 35-year-old orthopedic surgeons that have cats and not kids. And they're very miserable. Most of the radical left is largely being run by childless young ladies, young women that are in their mid-30s that are super miserable on antidepressants, because I think they're missing something.
Charlie Kirk thinks that they're missing something. Apparently everyone should listen to Charlie Kirk, especially young women that he knows nothing about. But there he is telling folks, women in particular, young women, that if you're pursuing your goals and dreams of being an orthopedic surgeon, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, there's a man you can lay under and then let him rule over your world. That's what happiness is. You know, let's figure out why he went down this road, even of talking about cat ladies that happen to be orthopedic surgeons. And all you women that are orthopedic surgeons out there, I'm sure you're standing up and going, yes, I hate my life. Let's watch this question and answer.
I am very driven career-wise, and my goals are set on succeeding as an orthopedic surgeon. And I have really rarely thought about even getting married, having children, and even going into dating. Like, it's just something that I never really thought about.
You're gonna have to choose which one matters more. Go try to spend a couple days with babies, and if it doesn't move you to want to have some of your own, then go do the surgeon thing. I mean that. If you don't get baby fever being around young kids as a young lady, then you kind of have your answer. But if you're around a young child or a young baby, or like all of a sudden something greater than yourself gets activated, or all of a sudden you feel maybe a prodding by the Holy Spirit, then you got something to think about. And there's nothing wrong with being driven to your career, but I'm career driven, but my relationship with God and my family come way above my career. And I think all of you guys should have that exact same thing, if you so desire. If you want to just say all career all the time, maybe it will work for you. But the evidence is overwhelming. That will lead to an empty life. And then you got to ask yourself, why do you want to be successful, right? What is it? Is it material success? Is it a title? If that's the case, then that will never actually bring you ultimate fulfillment.
A young woman that has plans of being an orthopedic surgeon, and she's thinks she's gonna go through all of this schooling, which will take her to close to 30 years old before she's able to focus on herself, as she pointed out, is asking Charlie Kirk for advice on what to do. Because Charlie Kirk apparently has a background in orthopedic surgery. Apparently he's been to medical school. Apparently he's a surgeon as well. Why are we asking Charlie Kirk what to do with your life as a young woman when he is none of the things that check the boxes for what it is that you're about to experience? I didn't say that you don't have to ask him, but I'm just wondering what it is that he's told you to make you believe that he can say anything that can apply to your life that would make some kind of sense. That's all. I mean, I wouldn't advise you ask me either, because I don't have any of those boxes checked either. But if you would like to do something that you want to do, hey, young woman, do it. And then if you choose not to do it anymore, don't. It's such a simple process. Hey, do what you want with your life. These limitations that these types of folks put on people and tell them how they should live and what God will tell them to do with their lives, it's based in making more money, getting more clout, and more power. So if you want to keep putting your life in his hands, which I have a pretty good feeling she probably won't, but this is still the propaganda push for anyone else that's in these similar situations. Listen to Charlie Kirk, who would tell you that I'm focused on my career. But first, for me, comes God and family. What the hell are you doing up on stage, Charlie? Go home to your wife and kids. Why are you doing anything else except sitting in the house, taking out the garbage? What are the other manly things you're supposed to do? Take out the garbage, make sure you screw in the light bulbs, open up the cans, the jars of peanut butter, and maybe even the pickles in the fridge. Do all those manly things, since all you're supposed to do is sit in the house and do what we always talk about, are the manly things. Because of course, women are supposed to not have anything else to do except have babies, cook, clean, and then please their husbands whenever they come in and demand it. Also, what he said was the characterizations of some of these young women. Again, think about conservatives and how they talk about indoctrination and what they want young folks to be in the molding of these super libs. Listen to what he has to say with the crowd in general. Maybe just a mixer type of idea. Watch this.
Listen to this went viral in my feed.
Who here traveled and you don't know anybody in this room? Raise your hand. Okay, so keep your hand up. If you do know somebody, go find somebody with their hand up and introduce yourself. Because here's what we're not gonna do, okay? We have a men's summit now at Turning Point USA. And it's very different than our women's summit. It's very different. It's in the woods and we deprive them of calories. There's no disco ball. It's a whole thing. I will say though, that our women's summit is different in a couple different ways. I'll tell you about it. One of the things is that it tends to be a little cliquey. You ever see Mean Girls? Okay, that's what I mean. We're not going to do the cliquey thing, okay? So I am telling you to go out of your comfort zone. If you are here with a friend, to go find someone that does not know a soul here, that was bold enough and courageous enough to travel halfway around the country, and you're going to go introduce themselves so that tomorrow when I ask that question, no one raises their hand.
It's like these are still grown women. I think some of them may be high school age, but I thought this is about college aged women, and maybe it's high school girls, I guess. But he's talking to them like they're 5-year-olds. Hey, all you kids out there, you're like mean girls, and all you girls do is ever stab each other in the back. You guys, you like to fight. And on Wednesdays, was it Tuesdays, Wednesdays, we wear pink. Whatever it is, he thinks he's lecturing these women and girls apparently on who they are and how they act. There's a simple way of telling folks, hey, you guys have a mixer. I hope you guys get to know each other. Let's do an event. This happens at all kinds of things where they have events and they like to get the folks more comfortable with each other. But it has to be based in, how you women are. You know how you guys are whenever you get around each other. You get to clicking each other, and then you gotta start making friends and stabbing each other in the back, don't you? Oh, look, she's not wearing Prada. She's only wearing Old Burberry. So this is who he thinks he's talking to. And this is also apparently what they think of women, and they want women to then think of themselves. And that's all they're limited to. So make sure you get your ass back in the house, go to cooking, you're not pregnant yet, and make sure you don't make friends with those girls who like to talk about freedoms and all those things. Because they just might get in your way of true happiness. He's not the only one that was speaking at this. I'm sorry, there was a little bit more from Charlie Kirk. There's more happening here. They've gone through the characterizations of what kind of women and girls there are, how they shouldn't have careers, or maybe if you want to, but you're gonna be a lonely cat lady because research tells him that. But outside of all of that, nothing is a full conservative event without complaining about some colors in a certain order on a flag outside of the hotel that they were hosting this event at. Apparently one that Charlie Kirk was efforting to get taken down, but he didn't have the power. Watch this.
This social contagion that is spreading the country at a rapid pace that disguises itself as transgenderism. And it is accelerating, it is not slowing down. You see it on equal footing outside of this hotel. I tried my best to take down the flag, everybody. I tried my best, I failed, okay? I'm sorry, I tried my best. I know you are all thinking it, right? What is that all about? By the way, this hotel better do something or we're gonna find another hotel because I'm not gonna come back. This is ridiculous. Here I am, I see the American flag, the Texas flag, and the the whatever thing. And I say, this is not right. This is an insult to all of us, to our traditions and our customs. This is not right. So Lauren, don't sign that contract for next year, okay? You listening? Yes, let's see what we can do. I'm not putting up with this, and you should either. And so, this is spreading.
Spreading. If he's not putting up with it, you can just leave. You don't have to have the event. There's still that pride flag out front as you're inside talking about all this. Doesn't that demean it? Doesn't that change the entire narrative that you're pushing there? Isn't it bastardized? Now that there's a rainbow flag out front of the event, some people might mistake this for an event that actually accepts people for who they are. And we know that's definitely not the case here. There's something that one user did point out, and I wasn't aware of it either, so I looked it up. One person then tweeted and said, yo, there's an odd scheme going on with this young women's leadership summit at this event for Talking Points USA. And if you could look closely at it, it looks a bit like, as this one person pointed out, and I looked it up, the lesbian pride flag. Since we're talking flags and the fear surrounding it, there's that sequence, a sequence of colors there. And lesbian pride flag, this is according to Tribe Pride Tennessee pointed this out. This lesbian pride flag featuring 7 different shades of pink, orange, white, and red is flown as the official lesbian flag. In some cases, an older variant is also flown, which features more red and pink in the stripes instead of the orange. But also, sometimes the red and pink variant features an addition of a lipstick mark in one corner and is flown to celebrate the subculture of lipstick lesbian. Again, I'm getting this from this one particular site. I wasn't sure about the color scheme, but if you look at the still shot from the background and the stage, which also apparently the color scheme was all over the event, looks like a bit of indoctrination to me. So these young women and college-aged girls, young girls and college-aged women apparently are being indoctrinated because if there's a flag or if there's a color scheme in a certain order with certain colors on it, that they'll be mesmerized. Their eyes will start spinning, and there's nothing but women around. Make-out sessions will go down. They're gonna go back to the hotel. Next thing you know, there's gonna be lesbian sex all over the place, all because there's colors behind Charlie Kirk talking on stage that resemble a lesbian pride flag. Does it sound effing stupid? It's because it's a stupid thought process. The same stupid thought process that goes, look, there's a rainbow flag out front. Looks like children are being indoctrinated. Look, there's people dancing and lip syncing in drag. Looks like more children are gonna become gay or lesbian or trans because of it. It doesn't make any sense. But they've convinced enough people that it makes sense. Enough people to make that it makes sense, and also you should hate others that don't agree with that, and maybe even go a little violent towards them as well. This is the state of this country in 2023, and it's led by people like this.